Dear Diary, today I got my semester 1 results and I was ranked 4th in class. Disappointing, I know. Growing up, I used to love having diaries. However, over the past few years, things have changed. My Hannah Montana diaries turned into gratitude journals and my notes app. And the content transitioned from daily renting to a collection of life lessons, a few of which I want to share with you today. So throughout my last 2 years of high school, I was constantly reminded that the next step would be heading to uni, preferably abroad. And the closer I got to the last day of school, the more obsessed I became with studying in another country. Taking a gap year to think what I really wanted to do, doing personal projects or traveling were never on the table. All I cared was, just like my other friends, I absolutely had to take the plane. And so I did. August 25th, 2019, I took the plane to China. And when COVID hit, I had to come back home and started studying online. So I was having little to no practice of the language, and I started struggling in my classes. Because, math and physics and Mandarin, not easy. But little Miss over here decided, hey, I have found the smartest idea. Log in my classes at 4 a.m. and then go back to sleep. And then I would translate the resources to English afterwards and study on my own. So even though I was going from a straight A student to a straight C student, I had managed to convince myself, dear diary, this is uni. As long as you're not failing, you're good to go. Until I failed. Not one, but 2 classes. For the first time in my life, this academically validated eldest daughter of a Brown family had failed her classes. So after crying myself to sleep, I picked up my notes app to start a habit that I believe is extremely important: self-audits. Dear diary, I think I'm not made for STEM, or at least computer science. Disclaimer, I enjoy programming now. This was definitely not the correct explanation of my failure, but it was the start of a self-audit journey. So from that point onwards, at every failure, I started thinking about the whys, the whats, and the hows. Why did I fail? What should I do differently next time? And how do I make sure this does not happen again? Years later, as I scroll through my collection of life lessons, my modern day diary, the famous notes app, I came up with a more plausible explanation as to why I failed those classes. I failed simply because I was running away from hard work. I had refused to sit down to consolidate my understanding of the language, and I wanted to study in my comfort zone in English. Had I made the effort, things would have been so different. And this made me think of how success does not come easy. Any successful businessman here has put in the hours. Any successful relationship requires effort. Any successful student has worked for the night. There is absolutely no workaround for hard work. A friend of mine constantly reminded me that if you want to be an expert at something, you need to put in at least 10,000 hours of dedicated hard work. So May 1st, 2024. Dear diary, this is a reminder to break away from all the pressure of doing what everyone else is doing. It is more than okay to embrace your unconventional path and to accept and learn from your unique journey instead of rushing on a train without knowing your destination. This is also a reminder that nothing worth having comes easy. it was really time for me to stop ChatGPTing everything and start doing things the right way. And above all, never fear failure, for failure is life's greatest teacher. Lots of love, Jade.